The latest unemployment data shows that South Africans are battling to find jobs in many sectors. The latest figures released by Stats SA reveal that 1 in every second young person is unemployed. The number of jobless university graduates was at 9.3% in the first quarter of this year. Joining us to make sense of these numbers is Miguel de Bras. He's a career and academic expert at Boston City campus. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Now, the latest unemployment figures, Miguel, show that South Africa's struggle to escape from the aftershocks of COVID-19. Can you share with us some of the statistics affecting especially our youth?
Hi, Ntantla, and hi to the listeners. So as you said already, South Africans battling with unemployment. Statistics show that South African youth, ages 15 to 34, this means almost 1 in every second person is unemployed. You know, and Statistics SA echoes that the finding of 59.5% of youth are unemployed. This is irrespective of the education level. The graduate unemployment rate was at 40.3% for those aged 15 to 24 and 15.5% among those aged 25 to 34, while the rate among adults, aged 35 to 64 was at 5.4%. But what's quite astonishing is that of the 10.2 million persons aged 15 to 24, 32.4%, approximately 3.3 million, are discouraged to continue searching and currently not employed, education or in training, implying that to 1 in 3 young South Africans between the ages of 15 to 24 were disengaged with the labour market in the first quarter of 2021, precluding them from gaining any sort of experience or further skills. The NEET rate seen in conjunction with unemployment rates that over 60% suggest that youth face extreme difficulties engaging with the labour market in South Africa.
Now, Miguel, these numbers are depressing, to say the least. What would you say are some of the issues which are causing this increasing rise in unemployment?
I mean, the high unemployment rate can be attributed to the 7% slump in the economy in 2020. I mean, obviously off the back of the stringent lockdown restrictions compared to that of 2019 had an effect, with the GDP growing by 4.6% quarter on quarter, seasonally adjusted, annualized basis. However, despite the third consecutive quarter of positive growth, the South African economy is 2.7% smaller than it was in the first quarter of 2020, according to reports from Stats SA. As a result, there are more job seekers in the marketplace than ever. According to the Career Junction Index, areas of high supply correlate closely to areas of high demand, obviously. However, supply outstrips demand in some areas, leading to a competitive environment for job seekers. With less jobs to absorb, the South African labour force, the unemployment problem is further exacerbated. Added to this is the inability to accommodate about 190,000 graduates per year. Based on the 2019 QLFS, the formal market only absorbs an estimated 41,000 graduates each year.
Right.
Although the graduate unemployment is clearly less serious, the unemployment in other educational categories, the labour demand for graduates, is not sufficiently rapid to absorb all these graduates.
Now, while education levels do make somewhat of a difference, unemployment is also affecting graduates as well. One of the key reasons cited for this is the skills and job mismatch. Could you just give us some insight into this and perhaps solutions to the problem?
Sure. So, look, skills mismatch occurs when a graduate doesn't have the skills required by the employer, or the graduate's career choice does not coincide with jobs that are in demand at that moment. The current job climate demands that students have a holistic set of skills, both in terms of their field of expertise, technical know-how to participate in increasingly distinguished work environment, and also to to soft skills such as communication and critical thinking, problem solving, self-discipline, and time management, especially in the current work-from-home economy that we are in. Essentially, for tertiary institutions to have direct communication and interaction with workplace to sort of keep their finger on the pulse of the current needs in the working environment, so that to create an efficient ecosystem that supplies matching skills to quality jobs in order to build our economy, and also to stimulate graduate entry into the workplace. The solutions, I think, to the skills mismatch requires a reciprocal interaction, I'd say, between education and private businesses, where corporates and academic institutes collaborate to provide training programs with demand skills and outcomes. Government can also play a role by managing the responsiveness of academic institutes in supplying the necessary courses to deliver skills to meet evolving needs of the business environment.
Now, apart from these skills relating to specific jobs, are there other basic skills that we need to be teaching our youth?
Definitely. I think one of the skills is developing the skill to job search.
Yeah.
While external issues impact the job search, students need to proactively pursue job opportunities and explore ways to build experience. You know, getting a job is a science in itself, as we all know. In fact, the focus of a 6-month postgraduate course or graduate support services is offered, you know, at Boston as one of the institutes where we assist students to not only do a CV, which is quite important, but also to give them job readiness training so that they know what is expected when they go out there into the marketplace.
Now, we often hear that we need experience first to find employment, but this is a catch-22 situation where we first need employment to get the experience. How can we equip our youth with work readiness skills so that they are more prepared for the workplace?
So again, as I've just touched on the work readiness, this demands across the board emotional, psychological skills together with experience, with digital and technical skills relating to the applicant's area of expertise. However, experience becomes a catch-22, as you say. The workplace wants someone with experience and can only get experience once you enter to the workplace. So it's quite tough. Graduates need to have both academic and practical skills if they hope to find employment and growth in their careers. While education institutes and practical universities focus on theoretical knowledge, I think also it's important for the institutes especially to look at the work readiness training, and it needs to be an integral part of the academic life of a student. It has to be done.
Now, as we wrap up, I want to look at one other aspect. I mean, even before the global pandemic, young South Africans struggled to find productive employment. And now, paired with the challenges posed by COVID-19, young people need long-term support more than ever before. What steps would you advise our viewers to take on both graduates and those who are looking for employment?
Look, I mean, we're obviously currently in the third wave of the virus. While we hope that we are emerging from the worst of the pandemic, and I mean that in terms of, you know, the economy, I don't think we can ever go back to a harsh lockdown because we just won't survive. So in that sense, we might be seeing the worst of the pandemic, but the impact will be here for years. The legacy that it's left, you know, on the form of the higher youth and its unemployment it's very harsh. Therefore, more needs to be done, I think, to help support young people to access job and apprenticeship, education, high quality training and opportunities, obviously. But extensive youth training and apprenticeship programs should be priority to government, as it does retain and reskill, you know, and relocate in different sectors. I think also, though, it's not just the government's responsibility. I think corporates also need to play a big role in this. you often find where we're getting people from all over the world to come in and try and do these big jobs that I just wonder, though, are our youth being brought in there to sort of try and learn something from these people overseas? So definitely more opportunities need to be unlocked, and be on the rise.
Right.
Growing sectors like digital and e-commerce, data, and artificial intelligence, which are not only bringing fresh opportunities to young job seekers, but in general to the economy and the person out there looking for a job.
Well, Miguel, thank you very much for your time. That was Miguel de Bras. He's a career and academic expert at Boston City campus.